I'm the Von, and in the next 14 days we're going to be riding through my backyard of Central Queensland, North Queensland, far North Queensland. Going to be showing a great mate of mine in this great country. It's going to be a lot of riding, stretching from the coast to the bush, back to the coast, up to the Gulf and then home again. Be a few kilometres, plenty to drink, lots of fun, so get off your ass and join the revolution. This is Beers and Bikes. On the way from Townsville, Airlie Beach, just outside of Home Hill, is Mount Inkerman. He's only 1,600 kilometres from here.
Oh wow.
Yeah, far away. Well, you got to zoom in.
The fucking, because it's a massive catchment area.
There.
Mouth.
Yeah, probably is. Yeah, probably is.
But they grow everything up here. Tomatoes, fucking strawberries, rockworms, shipwrecks.
Sadly, Webby's had to leave us because he's headed off. He's going to get home. So we had to say goodbye, and I can't wait to go for another ride with him soon. G'day everybody, here we are back at Beers and Bikes. Here we are in Bodie's in Airlie Beach, and we're walking down the street. We're running into our old mate Pop. Pop's a famous singer around Australia, plays a lot of pubs, knows a lot of people, and we're here for a beer and a chat. So, g'day mate, how are you? Where's been your favourite place to play?
Oh, always Casey's has been. Basically because it's up close and personal. As you can see, this venue here is much bigger.
Yep.
It's nothing better to get 30 or 40 or 50 people that are into what you're doing, sitting there watching every move, listening to every phrase that you sing or play, and you don't get too many places like that. The pleasure of what I do is to be able to take my music to the towns, particularly when I was with the well-known Phil Emanuel. He was a draw card, and we had a lot of fun in some of those smaller places.
Yeah.
And I remember quite a few years back, I took him to a place called Monto, which was back down the way, about 8 hours away. And I said to him, "You ever been to Monto?" And he goes, "Yeah, I was here in 1963. I said, "How do you remember that?" He said, "Because my mother sat on the door and took £100, and we tried to work out how many people that would be in today's currency." And he said, like, there was a shilling for the kids to come in, or 5 cents for the pension or something like this. Anyway. But I took him to all those places there, like Blue Hill and McKinley, Buckhall, and you name it, he's been to all of that there.
Yeah.
All those places. So where's the connection with the bikes? Where'd you get?
I've been riding motorbikes all my life. Like Dad was into them, my uncles were into them, and basically, yeah, Dad was into them as soon as he was a kid. Like, he's old enough to buy a bike.
Road bikes or?
I know. Well, he had Vincent's and Matchlesses back then, and then the old bikes. And then my first bike was a BSA 105, and then he bought me a little Harley Davidson mini bike that used to be like a lawnmower engine, pull start, and then from that graduated to a RM80, and then into motocross bikes, and then I bought a GPZ 900, then I sold that and bought a TT 500, an old thumper, and then I got my first Harley. We did hit a couple of fucking locust blades, so the bikes in the car were covered in grasshoppers.
about 1973, the old road between Mackay, Serena and Rockhampton.
Yeah.
Used to go through Lotus Creek.
Yeah.
The old back road, which is now a link road to the mines.
Yeah.
Brings you out at Copperbella.
Yeah.
Nebo.
Yeah.
We were on our bikes, we had 750 Hondas back those days, and there was a plague of locusts jumping from one side to the other.
Yeah.
And if you leant down on your tank, they just clipped the top of your head. If you sat up, you just got a face full of them. There was just millions of them jump across the road.
We were lucky they were all hitting us knee height.
Oh, so
Yeah. So I was riding along going, ting, 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 I went, oh.
they're
Yeah. I thought someone, the front wheel or the bloke in front of me was throwing rocks up at me. And when we pulled over, he goes, fucking grasshoppers. And I went, I didn't even.
leave that yellow
Yeah, all over the bottom of my jeans. When I got to Mount Isa, I actually washed the bike and took my boots off and hit them with the gurney as well. Oh, well, that was the good thing about riding out on this trip, is we must have seen 10 wedgetails. So the first one we seen is when we were heading from Normanton to Crumbo, and he was just on the side of the road, and as my mate who was in front of me went past, he just took off. And then a couple of days later, when we were riding back, a wedgie picked up a snake and then dropped it right in front of me and took off. And then we, from Crumba to Cairns, we must have seen another half a dozen. They're just big, bros. Yeah.
when they're big fellas.
Yeah, they're great to see too. So everyone, like the Americans always rave on about their bald eagle, which is about this big, now wedgies. Yeah.
Pigeon. Yeah. No, those wedges out there, like they'll pick up a bloody baby lamb or something.
Yeah, they take sheep all the time. Yeah. Well, I remember back in the day, they used to shoot them when they saw them because they would. They'd take lambs.
But you've got to see that, like you're saying before, the people that live in the cities, they got no idea.
Yeah. So I say, join the revolution, get off your ass and get out and explore our country. Stop going to Bali. Get out, but get out to the bush, get out to Longreach, get out to Charleville, get out to
Those places like Blue Heeler and McKinley.
Lightning Ridge. Get out there, check them out. Like, learn about our country first, and then go learn about other people's countries. Go up and catch up with your mate on his bike rebuild. That'll be awesome. And then
Tony Evil Knievel Topping is in the process of building a trike to hire out around the community here on tours. I think they put 2 in the back, and
Yeah.
riding around.
after a great chat with Pop, took us into Proserpine, and we met up with Tony Knievel Topping, who's building out a trike. Tony, tell us about your bike, mate.
This is the beast. Been building it for just on 2 years now. I was having a few beers one night and I'm retiring from security, and I thought, what am I going to do? I thought about getting a cab licence, and then I've seen a trike. I don't know what a trike is.
Was it a trike when you first got it? Or?
No, it wasn't a trike when I first got it. But it was only a 2-seater where I was going to drive it into a 3-seater.
What's this? Like on steering, is it? Or?
No, just dampness.
Oh, okay. So how do they roll? What the purpose?
Stiffens the steering up, so
Okay.
the steering wobbles.
They get the wobbles, yeah, okay, fair enough.
When I first got it, it was like bloody riding a trampoline. It was just all over the road. The front end was just totally unengineered for us, wrong engineering.
Huh, I like this. Nice.
Yeah, I've been changing it to a foot clutch instead of a hand clutch.
Yeah.
And did that shifted there, it was about 20 hours work.
Okay. Pretty cool, eh?
Piece of aluminium and just knife in. Polished her up.
I saw a bloke the other day who had Gatling gun mufflers.
Yeah, I've seen them.
That was pretty cool. And then when we were in the powerhouse in Tamworth, everything about the gun was about a 6-shooter.
Yeah.
6-shooter grips, 6-shooter. Everything was 6-shooter. Yeah. So how far in the build are you, mate?
After we get all this engineering work done now, he's got to finish the oil tank off and the food. And the exhaust, he's got to fit the exhaust. And after that, all I've got to do is the electrics and the brakes.
So how long before you reckon you're up and running?
Oh, 3 to 6 months.
Yeah.
The tanks were on it, but they're off getting
Painted.
no, not too painted, sign written.
Okay, yeah. So with this, you got an idea how much you're going to charge per ride, per
It's
hour?
probably going to be about between 130 and 150 bucks an hour.
That's not bad. Is that per person or two people?
Probably be 2 people.
Oh, okay, that's a good deal.
Yeah.
So,
So I'll do airport pickups, pub crawls.
yeah. Pub crawl. Pub crawl.
Pub crawl's
I'll
going to
get
be
to
the
that.
best one.
Yeah. Because that'll be 5 minutes. We're in here when we're ready. Yeah. Actually, I've never thought of that. Thursday, thanks very much, mate. We'll have to catch up for a beer. And when it's ready to roll, mate, we'll be back up and go for a run with you.
No worries.
Yeah. Thanks, mate.
Thanks, guys.
In the afternoon, we caught up with some old mates, Bazza and Carol, to check out their salvage boat that they're turning into a bar. So, Bazza, tell us about the boat, mate. Where did it come from?
Well, this boat, a friend of ours, he salvaged it when it got sunk. It got stolen from Daydream Island, and then it was sunk. So he salvaged it, and he thought about doing it up, but then he didn't get around to it. And he said to me one day, "If you want it, you can have it."
It just sat at the crib
So,
for years, didn't it?
We built a sort of frame here to put it on because it's pretty heavy, and then we got the crane and brought it in here.
What sort of timbers are made out of?
I think it's hewn pine. It's hewn pine, and I had a guy the other day to look at it, and he reckoned it was hewn
Pine.
Yeah,
Really?
Where would that come from?
that comes
Tasmania.
from Tasmania.
Oh,
yeah.
right, eh?
Yeah.
So what inspired you just when you went to Northerlies?
Yeah, well, first of all, when he offered it, I thought I'd put it down there in the garden, and I was going to, put a couple of high masts and grow some bougainvilleas up it and have it like a garden thing. And this old mate of ours, old Maxie from the Navy, he said, no, he said, you can't do that. He said, that's too good. It's got to be made into a bar, and it'd be more useful, much more useful than a garden,
Yeah, it would be.
Yeah, because this is marvellous, because beers, what is it, beers and bikes?
There's the voice.
Beers, bikes and barbecues, mate, I'll tell you what, you couldn't go wrong.
Oh, yeah.
Everyone's got to be in
Mate, you've either got to like a beer, if you don't like beer, you must like motorbikes. If you don't like motorbikes, you've got to like barbecue. If you don't like one of those three things, there's something wrong.
I think you
You're
get
in the wrong
most,
country.
I think
Yeah.
you get most people that like them all, Yeah.
And I think with the bikes, we don't care whether it's a scooter or a Harley or whatever.
Yeah.
It's a motorbike's a motorbike.
Always someone's interested in.
And the whole point of motorcycles, as far as I'm concerned, is getting out on the road and riding them, no
Yeah.
matter what you got.
This 1955,
Yeah.
and then I'll show you, I've got the, the
Oh, fuck, that's nice.
tank.
How does that look?
Yeah, and they've got all the badges to go with it,
Yeah.
and then these are all
Yeah.
rims that had re-chrome,
Yeah.
and the spokes I got from England.
Yeah.
They're all stainless spokes.
But that fucking tank looks
So
amazing.
the whole,
That's
yeah,
amazing.
yeah, and
Yeah, that is amazing. That
Yeah.
looks great. Can't wait to see that finished.
there's a front guard there.
Yeah.
Now the front guard, I couldn't get on this model. They have these deep sides,
Yeah.
and I couldn't get them here. Maybe could have got them from England. So I actually made these sides to. You can see
Yeah.
where
Yeah,
them
yeah,
all.
yeah.
I made these sides. That's for the front
Yeah.
guard. A few boxes in here. I've done these all in chromed.
Yeah.
The whole-
Well, like I said, when you're ready to sell it, mate, give me a ring.
Yeah, well, I'll keep you in mind, bro. Yeah, yeah.
So, sadly, it's time now to head back to Mackay and complete our journey. So, all in all, we did about 5,500 kilometres all up. in 2 weeks. If you ask me, the journey was too short. I was planning to ride for another couple of weeks, but that's just what happens on the big jobs. It was all in all a great trip. Minimal problems. Like, I mean, Webby's tyre was nothing. We got that fixed, got it going. We never had any other trouble. We had a bit of fun at Alpha with our accommodation. But all in all, it was an awesome trip, and I can't wait to do it again. The only trip I got planned at the moment is to ride around Australia in September, but, you know, who knows? I could be on the road again next week.